and welcome to the Friday show, brought to you by Monmouth Park. Big weekend of racing last week. We're now looking ahead to the July 23 TVG.com Haskell. Next Friday at Monmouth Park is a little fundraiser for the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund. After the races, the jockeys will be serving drinks as bartenders at the beer garden at the Blue Grotto. Speaking of jockeys, Chelsea Hackbarth and I are really pleased to be joined today by DeShawn Parker, who just this week rode his 6,000th winner, career winner. There's only 20 other jockeys that have done that in the history of the game, and I believe there are only 5 active jockeys that have 6,000 or more wins ahead of you: Perry Utes, Edgar Prado, John Velasquez, Kent DeSormo, and T.D. Houghton. DeShawn, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on this. And it's a big week, too, because you're going up to Thistledown on Saturday to accept the Pete Pedersen Award from the Racing Officials Accreditation Program on behalf of your late father, Daryl Parker. I know that's got to be a big day for you, too.
Oh, big time. Yeah. I want to thank you for having me on, too. But yeah, going out there to do this for my dad, it's definitely something special. I mean, it's been, my dad was really, I thought he was top in the game because he did it all. He went from being a groom to a outrider, pony boy, he galloped horses. So to be a steward, to be like one of the first, African-American officials and everything like that. So he was all around in the game. So, that's really, pretty much special for me to go accept this award for him, on his behalf, because I really think he deserved it, everybody loves him. You can't really talk to anybody that don't say really say a bad word about him. So, that's a great thing.
Well, to be honest, DeShawn, people are the same way about you.
Yeah, my dad taught me, just try to be humble and, be polite to everybody, no matter what.
I don't know how you maintain that positive attitude in the jocks room. It can't be easy.
It gets hard sometimes. But we all have to work together every day, and the jocks room is just like my second home. Actually, it's home, really. If you want to know the truth, I'm probably more in the jocks room than I am at home. So for us to get along, it makes it a lot easier out there and everything, out there on the racetrack. So I try to just keep the peace, and I know people make mistakes, but then there's sometimes when you can see where somebody's trying to do something on purpose, and then that's when things get a little different. But when they're accidentally doing it, then it's a mistake. So we all make mistakes. So.
Fair enough.
Well, DeShawn, you led the country twice in wins. 2010, 2011. 2011, you rode 400 winners in a single season. Things have slowed down in racing to where there's not 5 or 6 days of racing anymore. A lot of tracks run 3 days or 4 days, so the opportunities aren't there. Have you considered? I know you're based at Horseshoe Indianapolis, where you won your 6,000th win. Do you try to take days off and go to another track these days, or do you just pretty much stay at one track throughout the year?
I'm kind of slowing down a little more. I used to want to go every day and ride somewhere, and now I kind of want to do, enjoy a little life after, riding, 4 or 5 days a week. But if I have the opportunity and I feel like I have a shot on a horse or something, I'll definitely go somewhere else and ride. So I used to go to Belterra on off days from here and ride, but my agent now, he's got another rider over that way, so he's kind of sticking him on all those mounts, which is a good thing. So I'm not complaining.
Oh, wish we could see you at Churchill sometimes.
Yeah, I ship in every now and then. So.
Well, I noticed that when you're going up to Thistledown, you've got 3 mounts on Saturday as well, 2 in stakes races.
Yeah, this was where I started, so it's like it's my second home, if you want to know the truth. Mountaineer's always going to be home for me, but Thistle was where I started and everything, and I grew up on the backside of Thistle, in the jocks room at Thistledown when my dad was clerk of scales there. So, so I I had my agent call a couple people, and I know Gary Johnson. He put me on my very first horse ever. So I gave him a call and I said, "Hey, I'm coming there. I need something live." So he's always tried to give me a shot every time I go there.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but my favorite horse you ever rode was Captain Genius. I used to groom him for Joe Woodard, and you won a stakes race.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You won a stakes race. What year was? I think it's 2010, maybe.
I want to say 10. Yeah.
That was
yeah, maybe 10. I think 2010.
one of those years.
Yeah.
So what Chelsea's asking you is that your favorite horse? Because it's her favorite horse.
Obviously, right?
I really don't have favorite horse anymore. I mean, they're all. I've ridden so many now that I just gotta say they all are, special to me. But that was a nice horse though.
No pressure or anything.
No pressure.
Well, DeShawn, you're unique in the game for a couple of reasons. One, African American jockeys are really a rarity these days. Back when racing was just getting going, that's who rode the horses. And number two, you're 5'10", I believe.
Yeah.
Which is about the tallest jockey in the country, I would think.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Now you go to a lot of jocks from there's a lot of more taller riders than what you think. So.
What is the on the height? What's the toughest part of that?
Just getting trainers to believe in you. I guess that's the main thing. Just because you're there, everybody's saying you're too tall. But once you get on a horse and you're, curling up just as small riders, they can't really say anything. It's not like you're blocking the wind that much because you're down just as small as, the other riders. So. But the main thing is just walking up to people and saying, "Hey, can you give me a shot?" And they're looking up at you and saying, "Hey, you're looking tall."
I think if they see your record of 6,001 wins now, I think you're at. I think that tells them enough, doesn't it?
Well, it's a lot easier now than what it was when I started. That's for sure.
DeShawn, what's the hardest part of your job these days?
I really don't know. I mean, everything's been going pretty smooth, knock on wood. I guess I can't really complain about anything. Just maybe getting a live stake horse, maybe. That's the hardest part. Or getting, in the Derby horses or something like that. But, other than that, everything's been pretty easy and going pretty smooth. Really can't complain.
You said when you started out riding, you never dreamed that you'd ride 6,000 winners. I think you said that when you hit your 5,000th win, actually.
Yeah.
Do you have any goals left for your career right now?
I would like to win a greater race, that's for sure. I've come close in a bunch of them, and I've got a bunch of seconds and thirds and stuff like that in them, but I have never, got to win one. That would be something that I would want to do. And other than that, I just want to just keep winning races. I'm just happy at what I'm doing.
Well, I know that in Mountaineer Park, the opportunity to ride in graded stakes is really limited. I think they have just the one or the two a year.
I think actually when I was there riding, and for a while the West Virginia Derby wasn't even running.
Wasn't even graded.
Yeah. So that was about the only graded race we had there.
I think you've got more. I would think you have more opportunities at Horseshoe Indianapolis with a few more graded stakes than they have at the other places. And then I noticed that the last few winners, you were at Sam Houston, and then you tried Turfway for a winter, and then last year was Fairgrounds. Have you made a decision about where you're going to head this winter?
I like to head back to Fairgrounds. I really liked it. It was really nice. I stayed at Turfway for my dad the year before because he was pretty sick, and I didn't want to be far away. So that's the main reason why I stayed at Turfway. Don't get me wrong. I like Turfway, and Turfway's money is good. I just can't take the cold anymore. And, at night racing and cold, it does not fit well. But I really did like Fairgrounds. I don't mind Sam Houston either, but I did like Fairgrounds.
Do you have sort of I know everybody asks you this, but do you have sort of a timeline for when you might be ready to move into your stewarding life?
I guess I could say I might be getting close, but after you win a race, you're like, man, I want to do this again. So it's hard to say I'm ready to give it up while I'm winning, but I guess once it slows down with the wins and stuff like that, and then I start feeling like it's a job, I guess then maybe I'll go do something else. But I do plan on trying to go to the steward school and get, certified for when that time comes. Maybe I'll already be ready for it, but I don't really have a timeline. I can honestly tell you that.
Well, Perry Oots has got a few years on you, I think, and he's still out there.
Oh, he's amazing. I'm telling you. Perry can tell you how many horses he rode, how many seconds he's had, how many thirds he's had, how many mouths. I mean, Perry is something else.
He probably could name them all too.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
I've heard a lot of riders are superstitious. Do you have any superstitions at all?
I kind of do. Like a lot of people, I really don't look at my races, like tonight. I'll look at my races in a little bit, but I don't look ahead like the day before and stuff like that, because I try not to put too much worrying and thinking about this, because I feel like myself, I start thinking too hard about this one race and something like that. And the more I think about it, and then I go out there, everything changes. So it's like, it's not like I want to worry myself about doing this and doing that. So whenever I'm just, at home and stuff, I try not to think about what I'm riding tomorrow or, stuff like that. So I just that's a superstition of mine. And sometimes, like I said, whenever you're doing good, you'll wear the same underwear, you'll wear the same this, you'll wear the same one. I remember when I was going for leading rider of the nation, I had a pair of underwear. They were pretty much like a G-string. They were so worn out, and I was wearing them.
So who were you in a race with that year? Do you remember?
I want to say it was between me, Ramon, or I think it was Ramon, and then 1 year was Russell Bays. Well, I really think it was Ramon that one.
Well, we appreciate you joining us this week, and I know that Saturday is going to be a special day for you up at Thistledown, accepting the award on behalf of your father. I think it was great to see you win the George Wolfe Award, which is, as most people know, is something that's voted on by your peers. I know you have their respect, and that'll be important when you move on to your next career as a steward.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, I try to, talk to everybody, and hopefully, they feel the same way about me, that they can come talk to me and everything like that. But, a lot of riders have just, over the years, I've got to travel a lot more and meet a lot of guys. So, it made it very special, when they voted me for the George Wolfe Award. That was really, special. So.
Yeah. Well,
we're all great guys. We're all trying to win races, but we all want to come back alive too. So, it's just basically, we're all good friends, whether we want to believe it or not. We are.
Work friends.
Yeah, work friends.
Well, we wish you the best of luck as you look at 7,000. That may be a little tough to.
Oh accomplish. Yeah, I don't know if that'll happen, but not unless I get on a real big roll.
But congratulations on 6,000, and we look forward to seeing you ride many more, and then becoming an official that we can all complain about, because that's the stewards is that goes with the territory, right? Just like jockeys get second guessed all the time.
You're right about that.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Everything, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks so much, and be safe. Take care.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next week on the Friday show. Special thanks to DeShawn Parker for joining us this week.